this book. This fucking book. There are two reasons that you see Barbara Kingsolver's The Poisonwood Bible in used bookstores all over the country. The first one is that it was a bestseller because she's an amazing storyteller, and it sold a lot of copies. But the reason that it's in the used bookstores is probably because it's a punch in the gut kind of book. It sticks with you after you read it. And it is a bit of a mirrored story. It's a story of a family from Georgia whose missionary father decides to take them to the Congo right before Congolese independence, which is quite some timing. It's also a story of the nation of Congo and how the CIA screwed with it. And one of the most famous assassinations in CIA history is killing the democratically elected president of the Congo and continuing to try to destroy the country and work against the best interests of the Congolese people and act in the interest of the American businesses to whose handmaiden they are. And so this is a very on-the-ground look at what those machinations caused. But more importantly, Barbara Kingsolver did live in the Congo. She came from Tennessee, her family were physicians, and so she knows what she's talking about. The cool part about how the book is structured is that there are 4 daughters and a mother and a father, and you only hear from the perspectives of the females, and every chapter is by one of the female characters, just like As I Lay Dying by Faulkner. And each of these females is such a interesting character and undergo some really interesting changes throughout the book. It was not at all what I was expecting, and it was one of the richest pieces of writing that I've read in a long time. And again, my hat goes off to my sister Anna in our little family book club. She said we should read this, and here we are. And it's a book I'm not going to soon forget, especially because I like hearing about the CIA stuff. I like learning about it, and this was a way to see it from the inside, which was very interesting. But I also grew up in the church. I had some missionary experiences when I was younger, which I'm not proud of, but happened. And this really gets a great look at that religious imperialism that goes along with capitalistic imperialism. And the name of the book, The Poisonwood Bible, is because the father, who is kind of the least sketched out character because he's just this Captain Ahab madman, and who needs to hear more about them? There's enough books about those kind of people. The women in this are far more interesting. But because of his hurried pronunciation of the Congolese language, instead of saying Jesus the Precious, he says Jesus the Poisonwood. And the poisonwood there is especially bad. If you make a fire with poisonwood, it'll kill your entire family. And so it is a great example of the kind of mistranslations that happen in a setting like this. So this is just an incredible book that I recommend to anybody who wants to read a great piece of writing.